Hi students and welcome to the class. The first thing you need to do is you need to go to aplusstudents.com. You need to go to the website and you need to log in. Once you have logged in, you need to select math as your subject because this is a maths lesson. Your grade is grade 8. It is a grade 8 lesson. The topic for today is data and graph. Okay. So we would be studying data from the graphs. Okay. The chapter number, just a second, please. I'll give you the chapter number. Okay. The chapter number is 24. The chapter number is 24 and the lesson number is 12 for today. Okay. And the name of the lesson is create frequency charts. Okay. So we would be creating frequency charts today. And let's go. Let's go to maths. Create chapter number 24 and lesson number 12. Okay. Okay. In this case, what happens is that I just copy the question. They would give us some information. Based on that information, what we will do is we will create the bar. Okay. So what they are doing is what's given over here is for the question number 1, the question says the train conductor made sure, I'll just resize this so that it's more readable for us. Okay. The train conductor made sure to count the number of passengers on each train. This is question number 1. Use the data to complete the frequency chart below. Sometimes they can give us the frequency chart. Sometimes the chart can be missing and we need to draw the chart. Okay. So what they are saying is fill in the missing numbers. Okay. So let's go and let's see. Welcome to the class. What we are doing is some information is given to us and an incomplete grid is given to us, right? So what we need to do is from the information provided in the question, we need to complete the grid. Okay. So what we can say is the number of passengers per train. What we can see over here is on the first column shows number of passengers, right? So how they do it is they do the tally markings. What we can do is we can extend this over here and we can say that we need to do tally markings. Tally marking is a process where you count the values within this given range and then you put down these values. Okay. This can be done in an easier manner also, right? We count all the number of passengers in train, we have the number of trains, we subtract from the total and we get the final answer. This could be done in different ways, but I'm trying to explain you what tally markings are. Therefore, I would be doing everything. Okay. The first is 35, right? The 35 lies within this range. We would say this is tally marks. Okay. Then it is 41. 41 lies in this range. 44 lies in the same range. 45 lies in this range. 49, it also lies in this range. 54 lies in the same range. When they are 5 of the same, we slash the 4 to make it a 5, right? 63 is in this range. 69 is also in the same range. 74 is also in the same range. 87 is in the next range. 90, this range. 95, this range. 111 would be over here. Okay. Then we have 119, same range. 119 in the same range, right? 126 goes to the next range. 129 in this range, 132 in this range, and 138 in this range, right? And for the last four, we can say 142 was here, 143 was here, 146 was here, and 150 was here, right? So what we can do is we can count the number of tallies. There was a single tally, we wrote one. There were five tallies, we write five. There were three tallies, we wrote three. Three tallies, three. How many tallies are there? There are three tallies over here. 4 and 4. That means the number of trains which had passengers between 100 and 119, there were three trains, okay, having these many passengers on it. Okay, even if we don't do the tally markings are better so that we can process the data. Even if we don't do that, what we can do is let's count how many how many passengers per train. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. That means the number of trains was, total number of trains was 23, right? So from 23, if we subtract these values, I'll just highlight these values and these values. So what will we get? We will get this value. So can we say, if we say 23, 23, okay, let's add them together. 1 plus 5 is 6, 6, 12, 6, 9, 12. This was 12 and this was 8. That means 23 minus 20, that means 3 were left. That means this has to be 3. Okay, because this information is given for all number of trains which have been included, right? So we can simply count the number of values given to us, and if we need to find only one value, we subtract the remaining and we find that answer also. We can do the tally markings as well, right? So there are multiple ways to solve a question. We would look at the easiest and we would look at the difficult ones also, so that we can choose and we can have a reason to do it the easy way out. Okay, so the next question that is given to us says, let me just complete this, copy the question, then I'll just, okay, for question number 2 it says, I'll just do question number 2 over here. Diana counted the total number. Okay, this was our question number 2. Total number of shells collected by her friends during a walk on the beach. Okay, so this shows us how many shells were collected by her friends. Okay, this shows us this information. The grid given to us is fill in the missing numbers into the grid. Okay, we will try to do it the most easiest way that is possible to do this. Okay, so this is a fill in the missing numbers. Okay, so we need to find this value that is missing over here. Rather than doing the tally markings, what we can say is, let's count these. 0 seashells by collected was by one person, right? One seashell was collected by how many people? 4 persons, right? Three seashells were collected by 1, 2, and 3 people, right? So we can see these values are just simply the counting of these. So let's count this. 2 seashells were collected by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Agreed. So we simply write 7 over here. There were two seashells were found by 7 people. Okay. Or what we can do is, this was 3. So what will be the total? 1 plus 4 plus 7 plus, sorry, 7 plus 3, that the total is 10, 15. We simply subtract these three numbers. So 15 minus 1 minus 4 minus 3 should be equals to 7, right? We can do the other way around as well. So whichever, this is quite easy. We count on the line plot. This diagram is known as a line plot. We count the number of crosses on the line plot and we simply write down that value. Okay. Any questions till now? What we are trying to do here is we are trying to read the information and we are trying to see if for the given information, uh, what are the things that we can find, right? What is the information that we can process? So, sorry, I'll just do copy this. So for question number 3, I'll just copy it over here. I'm moving ahead to question number 3. The question number 3 says, a Wendell Soup Company recorded number of rotten tomatoes in each barrel it received, right? We are looking at numbers of rotten tomatoes in each barrel. Use the data to complete the frequency chart below. The information that is given to us is this. This is our information given to us. Sometimes it will be aligned, sometimes it would not be aligned, right? So we need to keep in mind this. In this case, this is not aligned in an ascending order, right? So how many ones were there? Can we do the markings? Markings is not compulsory, but telemarkings is a better way of solving the question, okay? It is more presentable, it's more acceptable way. We can directly count also, and we can directly, okay. How many ones were there? Let's see. This is tally markings. So there was 1, 2, 3 fives, 1, 2, 3 fives, 1, 3, one more 5, 1, 2, 1, 3, one more 2, 1, 4, 2, there's one more 2, there's another 1, another 5, we already have 4, we slash it, we have another 1, we have 2 and 2, that means we have 2 and 2, right? That means number of rotten tomatoes would be 2 and number of barrels would be 5 because it says 5 over here. So how about this? One rotten tomato would be in 3 barrels, right? Because the telemarking shows 3 and 1 is repeated only 3 times. We can directly count the number of ones and we can write 3, but a presentable way of doing the work is make a column for telemarkings, show the tally how you're getting the answer, right? If the question is for a single mark, that would be for an answer. But if the question has multiple marks to it, right, more than one, then they need some information how you reached your answer. So you need to show the working that this is how we found the answer. Agreed? Okay, moving ahead to the next question that we have. Okay, they have given us a histogram. We did histogram previously. So let's see what we can do in this. I'll see if I can copy in a single go. Okay. For the next question, that is question number 4. Sorry, this is question number 4. Let's see if we can do it in a single go. Yes, we can. So this is the given information and we need to fill in the missing numbers, okay? I'll just put this over here and let's see if we have this diagram. Let's try to find some values, okay? I'm just arranging it so that it's much more readable for us, okay? A cookie factory monitored the number of broken cookies per pack yesterday, okay? So this is our question number 4. Use the data in the histogram. We know this is the histogram, right? We know there are bars in a histogram. To complete the frequency chart table, so we can say from 0 to 4 cookies that were broken, there were 2 packs. Simple. Just to verify, 5 to 9 was still 2. Agreed. This was 6, 5, and 3. And we have completed the information, right? So all we need to do is study the given information and complete the missing number. Okay. So in the next question, what I'll try to do is I'll remove all the numbers so that we try to find all the missing numbers, right? This was 6, this was 5, and this was 3, and this was 2 as well, right? And these are exactly the same numbers, and we found this missing number. Okay. So in the next question, we'll try to remove everything and we'll try to find everything. Okay. So the next question says for a fundraiser, the Children Art Club. Just a moment, please. I'll just copy it. And the next question is there. That is question number 4. It's question number 5. I'll put it down on the screen. This is question number 5. I've removed all the values from here. Let's find the missing numbers, right? This is question number 5. Okay, question number 5. It says find the missing numbers. For a fundraiser, the children in the art club made greeting cards, and those greeting cards and kept a track of how many each student made, right? So we have a line plot. By the given information in the line plot, we need to complete this frequency chart. Okay, the word frequency means, okay, I'll just write the frequency. Frequency is the repetition. Sorry, repetation. Okay. How many times is anything repeated? Repetitions. Okay. So what we can see is greeting cards. They were making greeting cards. Okay. So 0 greeting cards were made by how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So 0 greeting cards were made by 6. That means they did not make anything, right? 1 greeting card was made by 2 students. 1 greeting card was made by 2 students. 2 greeting cards were made by 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 students. So 2 greeting cards were made by 5 students, and 3 were made by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So 3 greeting cards were made by 7 children, right? So this is the missing information that we found through the line plot. This diagram is known as the line plot, right? So line plot was given to us. We use the information in the line plot to fill the frequency chart. This is the frequency chart. Okay. Frequency chart shows us how many people did which work. It could be, in this case, they were making the cards. It could be a different work. Frequency is the repetition, right? Frequency can also be in the car wheel, like the wheel is turning per minute, per second, per hour. So if we are saying how many revolutions does a wheel of a car has per minute, that would mean these revolutions per minute. That is the frequency, right? It could be per second, it could be per minute, per hour, and so on, right? So depending on the question, on the requirements, we find the answer. So moving ahead to the next question, do we have any questions till now? If there are any questions, please kindly let me know. I'll explain those before moving ahead. Okay. Okay, let's do the next question. And I would still remove the excess information. Okay. For question number 6, what they're saying is this is the information that is given to us in question number 6. Okay, let's see, fill in the missing numbers. Okay, we have these numbers which are missing. I'll remove all the numbers so that we are able to complete the entire grid. Okay, just let me complete this. Okay, done. And this is the histogram that has been provided to us. Okay, so for a social studies project, Trevor counted the number of classrooms in each school, counted the number of classrooms in each school in the city. That means use the data in the histogram. This is the histogram given. Frequency chart. This is the frequency chart, right? So what we can say over here is, let's complete this. Okay, let's find the values. Number of classes that were between 0 and 19. How many schools were there? There were 5 schools, right? So we can write 5 over here. For the number of classes the number of schools that had 20 to 39 classes, how many schools were there? How many schools were there? Between 20 and 39 number of classes, there were 3 schools, right? We simply write 3. 40 to 59, there was 1 school. 60 to 79 classrooms, there were 3 schools, right? And 80 to 99 classrooms, that's a big number. That would be, there were 6 schools which had these number of classrooms on it, right? So if I ask a question, how many schools were studied or counted in the survey? Since this value says the number of schools, right? Then the total of this would give us the number of schools. This will give us the total number of schools in the survey. Okay, that would be 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. 12 plus 6 is 18. That means the total number of schools would be 18. So they can ask us many questions from the given information, right? So right now we are not looking at what information can be processed, what questions can be created. What we are trying to see is that the given information to us, any given information to us, how to read a given diagram. If it's a bar graph, how to make a frequency graph, right? If it's a frequency graph, later on we saw how to make a bar graph. It could be a line plot to a frequency chart. We're just looking at the information that has been moved from one representation of data to the other one, right? So let's move ahead to the next one. So we have the next question, that is, let me just copy this. So the next question we have, it says a farmer counted the number of apples in the orchard. Okay. So let's do question number 7. The question number 7 states that these are the number of apples counted by a farmer. Okay. So let's see what we need to do in this is. Preferable is, okay, if I would remove all the values over here, okay, just to see what we can do. Okay, so preferable is we make the tally markings. Okay, if we have the tally marking is the way of counting. Okay, so we can say is, if we had tally marks, let's give a heading tally marks. Okay, the name itself defines, right? Tally means to compare. So the number of apples per tree, 8 apples per tree were, we find the category for 5 to 9, that is 8 belongs over here. 1 apple, 1 over here. 4 apples in the first category, 0 to 4. 18 apples, where does 18 lie? 15 to 19, right? 19, same place. 26 apples per tree. 26 would be in between 25 to 29 because it shows the number of apples. 34, the last column. 23, 22, 24. 5 comes over here. 24 comes over here. 8 goes over here. 33, 33, 31, 1 apple, 3 apples, 16. Okay, 16 apples and 25, and we had 12. Okay, so once we have the tally markings, we can find the frequency. The number of trees, this value of number of trees is basically representing the frequency. So can we count? This would be 4, 3, 1. Apologies for muting. I have a sore throat. Okay, we're back on the question. So the frequency will tell us that how many apples, like from the range 0 to 4, there were 4 trees which had 0 to 4 apples. Agreed? And so on. We can also find the total number of trees. Let's try that. If we add them together, 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 plus 1 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. 13, 15, and 18, right? We can also confirm from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That means there were total 18 trees in this particular survey, which the farmer counted. Okay. So moving ahead to the next question. The next question says, a pottery factory kept a track of number of broken plates. Okay. I'll just copy it on the screen. Okay, this is the question that is given to us. And this question says, just a minute, I'll just move it up. And this would be our question number 8. Okay, so for question number 8, they're saying that this information has been provided to us. Just a minute, okay. Okay, this is done. For this information, we need to complete the table, right? Again, I would try to remove the values, because if one value, that is very easy for us, right? So we would try to make it a little difficult so that it's more interesting to solve. Okay, these are the tally marks. We need the tally markings. You don't exactly have to do, but it is recommended so that we minimize the error chance, right? We don't want to do errors. Tally marks. Once we know the topic, we should refrain from making errors. Okay, so this was 19 broken plates. 19 lies in which range? In the first range. 22 lies in the second range. 24 also lies in the second range. 25 lies in the second range. 27 in the third range. 29 third range. 31 fourth range. 37 fifth range. 41 last range. 40, the next one is 44. Okay, The next one was 44, right? 44. We have two 44s, we have three 44, and then we have a 45. So what we can write is there were one shipment which had broken plates between 16 and 20, right? There were three shipments which had broken plates between 21 and 25. Two shipments, 26 to 30 broken plates. One shipment, 36 to 40, one shipment. And 41 to 45, there were five shipments, right? That means the plates were not shipped properly. They have been shipped carelessly because the 41 to 45 times there were five shipments where 41 to 45 plates were broken. Okay, so they should be more careful. This information will provide us to assess the data and to find solutions to it, right? So as per this information, I can say that if the shipment, like breaking these many shipments would mean a lot of plates have been broken. So please consider carrying it carefully. Okay. So let's look at the next question. The next question that we have is, it's a line plot. Okay. Let's study the line plot. Ice cream, it's based on ice cream. Okay. It's an ice cream shop. And this would be question number 9. For question number 9, what we can say is, okay, let's do it here. Okay, just a minute, please. Fill in the missing numbers, eating ice creams, use the data plot, customers ate ice cream last month. Okay, so this information is given for question number 9. It says Kate Streets counted how many times its most frequent customers ate ice cream last month, right? So from this information given in the diagram, if we remove all the values to be missing, line plot is very simple. We just need to count. In a line plot, we just need to count the number of crosses. Can I say 0 times were done by 2 customers, right? They never came back. How many times customer came once? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. There were 7 customers who ate once. How many customers ate twice? There were 3 customers who ate twice. And there was a single customer who came 3 times, right? So this is the information that we can find from the line plot in order to create the frequency chart. The frequency chart will give us the number of repetitions. How many times did one event happen? How many times 0 customers, 1 customer, 2 customers, or 3 customers visited the shop again, right? So that the number of repetitions is known as frequency. Okay, let's have a look at another example. Okay, in this case, the next question they have given us, what they've given us is okay, ungrouped data. Ungrouped data means just numbers. They have given us numbers to assess the information, okay? So this was question number 9. Let's make this question number 10. And I would still remove all the values from here so that we find everything. Okay, just not one value, but everything, okay? So the question says Bob counted the number of peanuts in each bag of a trial mix, okay? So we are counting the number of peanuts. What we need to do is we need to find the tally markings because none of the information is given to us. It was given to us, we modified the question and we removed the values so that we would be able to find everything, okay? So if I say that this was tally markings or tally marks, okay? So number of peanuts per bags in a trial mix, right? So there were 15 peanuts, right? So let's see, number of peanuts 15. How many? So peanuts 15 and 14 were together. 14 to 15. They've been broken down in range. Why is it not zero over here? Number of peanuts? Because a pack would not have zero peanuts in it. It will have something, but the values might differ, right? 12. 12 comes in this range. 6, 6 or 7. 9, 8 or 9 is the range together. 14, that means 14 or 15. 6, that means in this range 12. It could be 12 peanuts. They could be 12 again. Then we had 10. 10 could be between 10 or 11 peanuts, right? Together. 12 again. We have 8. One more 8. We have 9. That would be the third. We have 10. 10 could be in this range. We have 12. So 12 is in this range, right? So we don't make an extra line. 1, 2, 3, 4. This 12 would we do a slash. That means group together, and group together information will show us that they are a total of 5. Then we have 5. 4 is 4 and 5. Then we have 13. 13 could be in this group, right? Then we can have 14 in this group, or we could have 9. 9 can be in this group, right? So the information that has been given to us, we have processed the information. How many markings are there? 1. So there is a 1 bag only which had 4 or 5 peanuts. There were 2 bags which had 6 to 7 peanuts, right? There were 5 bags which had 8 to 9 peanuts in it. There were 2 bags which had 10 to 11 peanuts. Okay, the trial mix means they started to operate a machine, and see, when a company starts packaging, they do trial runs. So they are testing if the machine is working fine or not, right? So these are the results for the machine, showing that these number of peanuts are usually in the bag. This would be 12 and 13 would be 6 bags, and 14 to 15 was 3 bags, right? So if the question from this information is which bags has the most number of peanuts, so we would look at the highest frequency and we would say the bags containing, okay, I'll just write down. So let's highlight this. That would be the bags containing 12 or 13 peanuts, right? Was the maximum number of bags out of this test run. And which bags had the least number of peanuts in it? There was 1 bag which had, that is 4:5. Okay, so from this information, from the given information, if the numbers were given, we do the tally markings and we find the frequency. This value is also known as the frequency. Okay, and frequency tells us the number of repetitions. Okay, how frequent it is. Okay, moving in ahead with the next question, let's see, or let's try doing some questions from the test. Okay, we'll do some questions from the test. Let me just copy them. The first question from the test, I'll just give a heading. Let's see what is the information that we can process. Okay, just a minute. I need to go back. This was grade 8, lesson 24, and chapter number 12, right? Create. Okay, let's do the test. The first question that we have is, we would have the same questions on our screen, right? So please, let's choose together. Let's do them together. Okay. So the first question says, a vet weighed all the dogs that visited last month. Okay. So if this is the question we have, and this is the information, these are the 2 answers we have, right? So they are telling us fill in the missing numbers in the given grid provided over here. The first question says a vet weighed all the dogs that visited her office last month. So these are the weights of the dogs: 43 pounds, 53 pounds, 81 pounds, and so on. These are the given weights. Okay. So if these are the given weight, can we find the number of dogs which had the weight between 100 and 119? If two options are given, option A and option B, which option should be correct? Option A or option B? Can I have the answer? Just copying it over here so that I can resize. Okay. How many dogs were there whose weight was between 100 to 119? Can we see a number that is between 100 and 119? Let's try to find 100, 100, 100, no, 98, 100, more than 100, right? 100 to 100, more than 100, more than 100. So how many weights were there? There were 3 weights written down. That means there should be 3 dogs. Agreed? If there were 3 dogs, then 3 weights would be written down. So we can say that this missing number was 3 and option B should be our answer. Do we agree on this? So let's click on option B. I did this for you. Okay. The next one, please help me out with the next one. Okay. Butterscotch candies, they're saying, okay, just a minute, please. I'll just copy it on the screen. The question number 2. The question number 2 states that this is the information. Let me just pick up the information. Okay, good enough. So this is our question number 2. I know it's not readable. Just a minute so that I may resize. Okay, this is the information given. Okay, and the question says candies of different sizes. Okay, are packed into a bag of different sizes. Butterscotch candies were packed into bags of different sizes. Use the data in the histogram. Where is the histogram? Here is the histogram. Where is the frequency chart? Here is the frequency table, right? So what they're asking us is number of candies that was between 40 and 44. So what is the frequency? So how many candies were there? 40 to 44, right? So how many bags were there? So can we read this information from the grid? Can we say for 10 to 14, there were 6, right? 15 to 19, there were 3. 20 to 24, there were 5. Agreed. 25 to 29, there were 3 again. This is 4. Sorry. This is 1. And this was. Agreed. So when the options are given to us, see, there were 4 bags which had 40 to 44 candies in it. But when the two options are given, it's an MCQ, we need to select the correct option, right? So that means option B is our, yes, option B is the correct answer. Okay. So we click on the correct option, that is 4, and it would show us that it's correct. Okay. So please do complete. There are a few questions on this, right? If there are any problems regarding this topic, let me know now. If needed, I will explain it again, okay? I'll do another lesson, I'll explain it. If there are no problems, that's well and good. Please complete the test, okay? Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye.